Welcome to episode 9 of Come On, Amanda. We bring you once again down the street to the house of Norm, who is here practicing the piano in his little new addition to his home. He's waiting for a very special guest to arrive. That guest, of course, being his own young son, George. Yes, George, now that he knows who his father is, he wants to get to know him better. And Amanda encourages this. She can't say no to this. So, he's going over for the first time to see where his father lives. His nice little bachelor house. As father and son bond. Still trying to catch up for lost time. Yes. Norm doesn't really mind too much that Amanda didn't tell him he was the father for so long, because after all, his lifestyle over the years has been quite similar to Amanda's when it's come to relationships. He's had many, and they've often overlapped. But they're once again becoming close. So, as they continue to hang out, somebody else comes up to the door. A young teenager by the name of Gary. Yes. Somebody who Norm obviously knows very well. Yes, they invited Gary over for a special reason. And George gets to meet Gary. And they hit it off pretty quickly, chatting about various things. And Norm decides to cook dinner for the both of them. Because after all, food is awesome. Everyone likes food. However, as you can see, Amanda's coming up, and she's like, well, I know this father-son bonding is very close, is very good, but George, it's time to come home. So, the two of them leave. Leaving just Gary and Norm at the house. So they sit down to eat together. And then Gary says to Norm, "Hey Dad, who was that kid?" And Norm says, "Gary, I wanted you to meet your little younger brother." Yes. Now we return back to Amanda's little house, where little Tom is sleeping through the night in his crib, in the very tiny living room they have there. George is a little hungry, so he comes up for a midnight snack. Yes, I'm not sure why it's necessary to keep potato chips in the freezer or in the refrigerator, but I guess all food in SimWorld is refrigerated at some point. Or at least the majority of it. But, being a baby, George can't sleep peacefully through the night. He has to get all fussy over something or another. So, Amanda comes to take care of the little guy. Give him a diaper change. While George does a little tidying up around the place. Always wanting to keep on top of things. Yes, Amanda loves her two young sons. However much she might, be going off and doing her own thing, she really does love the two of them. So, while George is awake, he decides to study cooking. He really wants to get a head start on a lot of his learning, just so he can be an independent person later in life. Also, it's the first day that Amanda's back to work. Her maternity leave is now over, and she's going back to work at the police station. Of course, she has to call a nanny to watch the little ones. It's a good thing that she has a little bit of money now to do that, because of the insurance money for Mike's death. Of course, very sad, obviously, but at least it's given a little bit of legacy. You could say Mike has helped his family one last time through this insurance money. So, it's off to school and off to work. And now, speaking of that money, it's time to expand Amanda's little house. So, we're going to throw things into double time and begin our construction project. First thing we're going to do is get rid of this little gazebo type place. As neat as it is, we're going to give Amanda an indoor eating area. So we're going to get rid of this. Unfortunately, can't get rid of the table because of all the dirty plates on it. So we're going to expand the house into the area behind it. Yes, the area that we're building now is going to be Tom's bedroom. Going to move his crib and his changing station into this new little area. And of course we're going to want to build some walls. Get rid of that window because that's going to be a door. But that's not the only expansion that they're going to make on the house. They have enough money to expand this whole area over here. Oops, it'd probably be a good idea if the foundation connected to itself. Yes, just a thought. Well, they're expanding 2 more tiles, and what are they going to do with that space? Well, they're going to make Amanda's room bigger, going to make George's room bigger, and they're going to give them the second bathroom, because with all the guests, and eventually, you know, more people being able to use the bathroom when Tom gets older, they're going to need a second bathroom. So, we're going to basically duplicate the first bathroom into the second one. No reason for it to be any different. Also gives Amanda a chance to have a dresser in her bedroom, which she had no room for before. Yes, it's kind of nice for her to get a larger bedroom. Also for Tom as well. Nice little space here. Just increasing this wallpaper, of course. Yes, nothing is uglier than blank walls. Well, not nothing, but you know, it's pretty ugly. Even from my horrendous design choices, an ugly wall is still worse. So, Amanda wants to have plenty of light in her house, so she puts these windows. Although not an absurd amount of windows. And nope, we're not going to put an outside door in the baby room. When Amanda was a very little girl, there was an outside door in her bedroom when she was a little baby and a toddler, and it gave her nightmares, and she doesn't want to have her kids go through that. So, they're not going to do that. Alright, and we're also going to expand the living room slash kitchen area. Yes, move the TV back a little bit so there's more room for people to sit and watch it. They couldn't really sit on the end of the couch before. So, we're going to throw in a few more cabinets. And we're going to set up a little sit-down area. There's not too much room, but there is enough. So, first, we try to decide if we can fit 5 chairs. But then it really doesn't seem likely, so what we're just going to do is fit 3, just like that. That should be sufficient. After all, there is only the 3 of them, and they'll have occasional guests, but not everyone has to sit at the table all the time. They have the couch there for additional seating. Alright, and now it's time to put some additional appliances that will make life a lot easier. Give them a sink, quite apart from the kitchen sink, the bathroom sink. It's always good to have more than one sink. Alright, and that ends our remodeling. Tom is once again asleep in his crib, and even though the TV is on, there's a nice thick wall between him and the TV, so he can sleep peacefully. Well, now it's time for Amanda's day at work to be done. as well as George's day in school. So, he brings home his homework. Yes. And as you can see, mother and son are very happy to see each other. Yes, at this point in their lives, Amanda and George are as close as can be. Well, something else special is going on today. It's Tom's birthday. Believe it or not, he's already growing from a baby into a toddler. So, Amanda's making a few phone calls and inviting a few friends over. Yes, friends, family members, and a number of former and current lovers are also coming over to this party. The more the merrier. As you can see, Sue is there, no doubt thinking of when she will adopt her own child, hopefully in the near future. As the guests mill around outside. You might recognize the guy in the medical uniform is Alex. And you also have Chris, who is another cop. And, of course, you have Sue and Edith's mom has decided to arrive. She's the one wearing the green shirt. And, of course, Lucy and Puck. And the new guy, David Drake, with the fur coat or leather or whatever it is. Well, anyway, it's time for everyone to gather around the cake and celebrate the birthday of the little Tom. However, before they can even all get there, Tom decides to jump the gun and become a toddler. He can't wait to get to the next segment of life. Of course, this means no one's going to be able to eat the cake, but oh well. That's alright. At least Tom is growing healthy and strong. And everyone's milling around and generally annoying each other. Very dysfunctional group, but that's okay. We still love them all. Or at least some of them. Yes. Amanda's very much enjoying playing with her younger son. Yes, although Tom was born in the mansion of Bruce Rowland, he has only has memories of this new house, and of his mother, and of his big brother. Well, night rolls on, and the party makes its way indoors, as everyone sort of hangs out around the TV and has a good time. It's a good thing to see them all enjoying themselves. And, although life does go on for Amanda and George, and George needs help on his homework, and Amanda is very glad to help him. As the party continues in the living room. And finally, the homework is nearing completion. Yes, we have George here, Tom, chilling out in his little crib, getting some attention from his Aunt Edith, who is also very interested in children because she's about to adopt her own. Yes, as the party starts to wind down in the kitchen. But Edith decides to do a nice thing and goes ahead and gives Tom a little bath. Very kind thing to do. But now it's time for the party to end, and all the guests make their way out of the house one at a time, each heading off to their respective homes. They've all enjoyed spending time at Amanda's house, but time to get back to their own lives, and time for Amanda and her boys to have some peace and quiet, to have their privacy. It's a pretty important thing. Yes, I'm sure Tom loves his new room. And of course, it's time for a staple of Sim Toddlerhood, which is the teaching of the porta potty. Porta potty, what am I saying? The little toilet thing there, whatever it's called. So, Tom will have his first experience on the wonderful pooping contraption. Yes, and apparently the first attempt was a success. Yeah, seems that Tom's going to be a smart guy after all. So, time for him to get to sleep, and sleep as long as he will. And Amanda, of course, has to take care of his business. He's not old enough to really take care of that himself. But now it's time for her to go to bed. For her and George both to go to bed. She's sleeping alone for a change. Kind of worn out by the day's activities, I'm sure. And there goes George, going to sleep. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Stay tuned for more coming very soon. So long. Hey everybody! For those of you who don't already know, I have recently launched my own music channel. That's right, I also write songs. I've been a songwriter since I was a young child. I've already uploaded 7 of my old songs, and I will be uploading 1 per week on this new channel. These songs were written using MIDI, so all the instruments are computerized, but I hope to eventually have some of these songs done up with real instruments. Anyway, I hope that you all take a look at my music channel, and subscribe if you like the music. Well, I'll see you all later for more updates. So long, everybody.